All right, guys. Hey, so we're looking at a hurricane. Today is December 24th, 2020. So here we go. Looking at a hurricane, make sure you have done the warm-up first. So any of our warm-ups that we have, the Dojo Flow or the others that I've recorded for you. The way we go with this is 3 rounds, 3 exercises each round, and 3 sets per round. We start off, we're going to be doing our sprint variation. So for today, that will be jumping jacks. So each round will have 20 jumping jacks at the start. Then this one is a power and core series. So it's going to be your sprint, you'll do your jumping jacks. Then we're going to be doing our squat to press, so our push press. So you're going to grab onto 2 dumbbells or a kettlebell or a sandbag, quarter squat, and then driving the weight up. We'll be doing 8 of those. Okay, so 8 of the push press. From there, we're going to get down onto the ground and do a sprinter's crunch. Now, for the sprinter's crunch, what we're looking at is here, flat on your back, heads down, drive up, and then back. Okay. That will be 8 each side. Okay. So 8 each side. So we do 20 jumping jacks. We do 8 push press, 8 each side on the sprinter's crunch. Okay, 3 times through, and that is round A. Go ahead. Pause now. I'll wait. Round B. Round B, we're looking at our jumping jack. Again, you can stick with traditional jumping jacks, or you can go to your sealed clap, whatever feels good there. Now for the second exercise, we're going to be doing a rotational squat press. So how this looks is we're going to grab our dumbbells, our weight. We're going to squat down into that quarter squat position. Then I'm going to twist from my hips and press simultaneously. Then return back down and press. Okay, so I never hit this standing position. I go from the quarter squat to up, quarter squat to up. Okay, that's 4 on each side for a total of 8. Then we lie flat on our back for 8 knee grabs. That's round 2. Make sense? It better, because there are no questions. Go ahead, complete that. I will pause. And welcome back. Round 3. Round 3, we're going to be doing our jumping jacks. You can either stick with the 20 regular jumping jacks, or you can move to the fling jack, which is the one where you cross your arms and cross your legs. From there, we're going to be moving into our bent over row. So this is where we're going to change the reps a little bit. We're going to be doing 12 bent over rows. So good flat back position, pulling up and back. Stay controlled. On speed days, the tendency is to bounce the weight. So you're here, right? You want to pull, right? And don't allow this shoulder to pitch forward, because that's going to put stress on your back and the shoulder. You want to pull back through the body. Okay, so 12 of those. Then we're going to get onto the ground, and we're going to do 24 Tfw twists. That's 12 to each side. Okay, so that's the idea for today. And that's it. So let's go ahead. We'll move into round 3. So to finish out, it wouldn't be Christmas without a Christmas TFW story. There was a man named Bob May. This is in December. His 4-year-old daughter sitting in his lap. His wife, Evelyn, was dying of cancer. And Barbara, the daughter, she couldn't understand why her mom could never come home again. And she looked up into her dad's eyes and asked, "Why isn't mommy just like everybody else's mommy?" His jaw tightened, his eyes welled with tears, and the question brought waves of grief and waves of anger. It had been the story of Bob's life, though. Life had been very difficult for him. He was a small child. He was bullied. He did not compete in sports because he was never chosen. He wasn't strong enough, wasn't good enough. He was often called names. And from childhood, he was different and never seems to fit in. When he did complete college, he married his wife and got a copywriting job for Montgomery Ward. That's copywriting is ads, right? This is during the Great Depression. Then they were blessed with a little girl, but it was all short-lived for him. Evelyn's bout with cancer stripped them all of their savings, and they were forced. Bob and his daughter were forced to live in a 2-room apartment in the slums of Chicago. And her death, his wife's death, Evelyn's death, it was just 8. He was trying to figure out how to give hope to his daughter when he couldn't even buy Christmas gifts. Her mother had been stripped from her. He decided, you know what, the one thing I have is I can write. So he was going to make her the one thing he could make her. He was going to make her a storybook. And created this character in his own mind, and he told the animal story to Barbara to give her comfort and hope. And again, Bob told the story, embellishing it more, giving it more details. And who was the character and who was the story about? The story that Bob May created was his own. Was a story about himself. It was an autobiographical story in the form of a fable. The character that he created was a misfit. It was an outcast, just like him. It was Rudolph, the one with the big shiny nose. Bob finished the book just in time to give it to his little girl on Christmas Day. But the story didn't end there. This is where things get excellent and very cool. The general manager of Montgomery Ward caught wind of the storybook and offered Bob a nominal fee to purchase the rights to print the book. Wards went on to print Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and distribute it to children visiting Santa Claus in their stores. And by 1946, Wards had printed and distributed more than 6 million copies of Rudolph. That same year, a major publisher wanted to purchase the rights from Wards to print an updated version. But this is just the coolest part. There was an unprecedented act of kindness from the CEO of Wards, and he returned all of the rights back to Bob May. The book became a bestseller. Many toy and marketing deals followed, and Bob May, who was now remarried and with a growing family, became wealthy from the story he created to comfort his grieving daughter. But it doesn't end there. Bob's brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, made a song adaptation to Rudolph. And though the song was turned down by such popular vocalists as Bing Crosby and Dinah Shore, I'm not sure who that is, but she didn't want it. It was recorded and sung by the singing cowboy Gene Autry. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was released in 1949 and became such a success. It sold more records than any other Christmas song had, with the one exception of White Christmas. The gift of love that Bob May had created for his daughter so long ago kept on returning blessings back to him and his family again and again and again and again. Bob May learned the lesson, just like his dear friend Rudolph, that being different isn't so bad. In fact, different can be a blessing. And as we enter into the last week of 2020, it might feel like you have had a Rudolph the Red-Nosed year, wrought with sadness, wrought with destruction, and just ugh. And it's stories like these where we take that pain, we take that suffering, and we refine it into something good. We refuse to let the bad win. That is where we are successful. That is where our greatness comes from. And that's where you can choose to live your best life. I'm not saying I do not wish sadness upon you. I do not wish hardships on you. But through hardships, that is how we get better. So with that story in mind, as we head into, typically one of the more joyful events of the year, I just hope and I pray that this time and this season brings you much reflection, and you are able to enter into 2021 with a fresh head, and you're able to go out and do some phenomenal things. We'll talk soon. Have a Merry Christmas. Love you guys.